I think what's beautiful about this movie and Jake's optics of making this movie and dealing with the topics and the relatability I think the audience gets to have with this is, I think the word is patience. And it's got the humor, it's got the action, it's got everything in it, but there's space that's held, really, and it was amazing to kind of see the audience's reaction of just actually having the patience and the connection to the characters and to what they're feeling and what is going on, especially with these misfits in this movie. And we had many rehearsals, and we all, especially with your character, we talked very, very intently about, what these characters are going through and what each individual's journey is and what we're all going to kind of interlink with this film and the sensitivity of it as well.
I guess I brought in a lot of collaborators who can connect with that loneliness, and, they're also some of the funniest people I know, and so I think we always felt like those two things could coexist, that you didn't have to sacrifice comedy or fun to address, like, a sense of emptiness or darkness, and those were themes that we really explored on Beef, and I brought in so many of the collaborators from Beef, like Sunny, who created it and who wrote on this, and Joanna, who wrote on season 1, and department heads like Harry Yoon and Grace Yoon, who had worked on it. So I think, yeah, it's a strange balance, but it just felt like, something on Beef that we always talked about is Sunny really felt that, these ideas and struggling with these things is not a niche issue anymore, that it's something everyone at this point could admit that they struggle with and is so much a part of the cultural conversation that even though it seems odd to make a summer blockbuster that has those ideas in it, it's not actually any smaller of an idea than anything else you would make a summer blockbuster about.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
I love the amount of names for your characters that Ava calls you disposable delinquents.
Yes.
There's antisocial tragedy in human form, defective losers. It's a bit harsh.
We're so nice about ourselves, aren't we? We're so complimentary.
One moment when your characters really come together was one of my favourite scenes in the film, which was when you sort of link arms in Emperor's New Groove up the
Yeah.
How did you make that scene as actors? Like, what
I
was
can't stop thinking about Emperor's New Groove right now.
That was the first time that's been referenced, and it's a perfect reference to that scene. Yeah.
I couldn't help it. So as you're shimmying up the tunnel, how did you make that scene together as actors?
Well, it's your idea, isn't it? It's Bob's idea that you take this one.
I mean, I think that was like a moment where Jake continually, like while we were shooting, he was like, this is the weirdest stunt ever. He's like, is everyone really into this? Should we keep doing it? We're all like, yeah, this is brilliant. Because it's so like to see superheroes like doing something so very desperate.
It's just such a juxtaposition of what Marvel is. I mean, it's the only way we can get out.
Yeah.
And it's all down to this character's idea, Bob, who's Bob, and it's your idea, and it's like such a practical way is of like, teamwork and team building exercise, like,
And I will say that it was kind of, in many ways, it served as like a cast bonding experience as much as it did for the characters. Like, we were in that elevator for like a week or something.
That came from one of my earliest pitch meetings, because there was this elevator shaft, but I think they got up it in a different way, and I was talking to Brian Chapek, our executive producer, on this, about, each sequence, each action sequence should be about, like, these are superheroes. They probably could solve this if they could just work together, but can they trust each other, and like what? And that was actually his great idea about the back-to-back thing, about like what is the ultimate kind of, you have to trust each other or you'll die kind of scenario to put them in. We always described it in shooting as probably maybe the least dynamic action sequence in Marvel history, probably, but very fun, yeah.